I said I was gonna come on tonight and do a live, and I need to make sure to do that because I promised I would, and I'm in a position where I can. Jeez. Um, but I had a direction where I was gonna go with this live, but based on recent confirmations, I have to share something with you. Two things, twofold. Uh, I know that people are enamored with what's the political climate on the globe right now. People are making assumptions about what they're seeing and what it means, etc., etc. Because of what we're being told, we believe what's on the news is truly what's going on. And unfortunately, that's not how it is. I'll let to see if a few people will come on. How are you, Jennifer? I'm just I just got a confirm. It's something that I actually knew about what was happening with me in relations to my privacy. But and I had talked about this before, but I had confirmation today. So I wanted to talk about it because I think it's important that people know that what you're seeing in other countries is happening here. It's just okay. So that's what I'm going to say about that. China, and I can't remember other countries are the same. But if you watch any kind of movie, if you're still someone who watches a lot of movies, you're intrigued by these drama movies where you know what countries do, these dramatic movies about corruption in politics in different countries. You will understand this you'll understand about the weaponry that they have and what they can do, but you'll also understand that some countries, populace in those countries are not free to do what they want. They're heavily surveillanced. Oh my gosh, I will pray, okay? I will pray for you, sweetheart. There's a lot of wickedness happening in the globe right now, but let me share this with you. I am gonna pray because I've been praying a lot more lately. It's been effective, and I was told that my prayers are effective, but now I know they really are. So I'm gonna pray for you. I'm not too sure, you know, the Lord allows things. We have free choice, but some things happen. So it's like we need to pray about everything that we own, our children, our spouses, our belongings. There is so much like spirituality, spiritual things happening on the globe, good and bad, that we need to be vigilant and be praying over what belongs to us, what pertains to us, because if we don't, things can happen. So what I was gonna say, I recently got confirmation that my devices, my cell phone particularly, I know that I'm being monitored. I know I was chipped, and I know that I'm followed and I'm gaslit and I'm lied to about, like, you know, what the circumstance behind what's happening with me right now is. But I have an understanding about what it is, so it doesn't bother me. It's just that the people that are in my life are trying to put things in a position where they can deem me to be unfit to do what I don't know what exactly. I have assumptions about it, but the point is that I just got confirmation that my cell phone and maybe my laptop is being monitored, and because of that, uh my banking information, people I communicate with, where I might be going, who I might be talking to, any kind of plans I might make are all monitored. Now, whoever is doing this and involved in this, you have to understand something. I'm talking to everybody, but particularly to those who are doing this. What you're doing is wrong, whether it's legal or not legal. I know it's not legal, but lots of people, even people in positions of authority, do illegal things. We see what's happening on the globe right now, especially in the US. Lots of things that are supposed to be illegal are being done by people who are supposed to be upholding the law. Now, in relations to places like China, who are heavily surveillanced, people cannot step out of line without being checked. Okay? If you think that that technology does not exist here, you're mistaken. There are, we are all surveillance. The globe is surveillance. We have everything in place to surveil everyone. Okay? The computers, the internet, the web, it can easily monitor everybody. It's not a problem for the technology that is out there for them to monitor everyone that's out here. So I'm saying this because there are people who felt it was cute and fun because they can. They've thought it cute because they can hide behind a screen to uh, intercept or intervene in people's lives and their privacy, and even interject and pretend to be someone they're not, and to and think it's cute and funny. The problem with that is that as you're doing that, the authorities that may be are categorizing everybody. So when they're ready to step in and do what they obviously are trying to do, which is to establish a new way of living for the globe, they're going to know who is who. Okay, so if you are intercepting either whether my device or the people's device to cause confusion, and especially if you're using AI to discredit people or to mimic or to pretend that you're someone or to discredit someone's character, they know. It's not a secret. It's easy to tell. Let's think of it this way. Even if it was just this, okay? Let's just say if everyone's on their phone, a computer can kind of tell everyone's using their phone to connect with people that they want to, right? Even if they can't see it, there's probably a computerized pattern as to when people are doing what they're supposed to be doing, okay? Let's just say someone has their own phone and they're tapping and mirroring someone else's phone. I'm sure the system that they have can determine and find who and where someone is doing something unusual with what the devices that they have. Okay? You have to know, this is almost like a child covering their eyes and standing in the kitchen, a toddler covering their eyes and standing in the kitchen beside mom and saying, I'm pretending I'm hiding. And the child and the mom saying you're standing right there, right? They can see you if you're gonna believe everything that you see on the news per se. I honestly believe that what we see in movies is much more true than what we see in the news. Okay, the news doesn't talk a lot about REM and the weaponry that they have now to be able to um, detonate and to cause damage before people have a chance to even figure it out. So the damage is done before people. There's a day when that you'd watch the news years ago when the television programming was black and white, and they would detonate something, some kind of missile or something, and you would be able to kind of track, almost like watching OJ on the highway. People on the news would be able to tell you, and you'd be able to kind of see and find out, yes, they've released a missile or something like that. Those days are over. Okay, you see weaponry now, yes. You watch planes trying to dodge missiles, which, by the way, is absolutely amazing. The things I've seen so far that these pilots can do, absolutely impressive. That's why I say we're a very special generation of people. But in relations to what they have in store, what they have that can be like they're saving their best for last. Like, this is small fries. What's happening right now is not a big deal compared to what they can do later on. They're not going to release and do what they have to do, what they can do right now. That being said, too, if anyone, I don't know what the movie is called. I think there's a couple movies that talk about this, but there are movies. And I'm saying movies only because the Lord has led me to understand this, and there's been some talk about this as well. There are movies about people from other countries who have come to the US or to Canada, knowing that they were actually coming here to infiltrate the system, learn the culture, learn the people, and then eventually turn on the people. These individuals, they are trained, they come into the country, they marry, they have children, they get jobs, they go to school, etc., but they are ops. They are here to eventually not only turn on the country, but turn on their own families. They'll betray their own families, they'll betray their own kids, because that was their job, to be here to do this. I don't know if you've ever heard of a movie like this. Hi. Is it Terminator? Yeah, and I don't think Terminator is the only movie that's like this. I think there's another one. But I was saying there's a couple. But when you see those things and you think, wow, that's so cool, believe me when I tell you this, no one's imagination is that vivid. There's truth to this. The enemy loves to tell us in advance what they're doing. I promise you this. And the Lord led me to understand this a long time ago. They're not going to waste their time and money entertaining us. You know, there's something to be said about the Bible and about the relationship that the enemy or Lucifer has with our Creator. The Lord has to give permission, right? And I do believe somehow, based on what I read in the Bible, what the Lord's leading me to understand, that the enemy has to kind of tell us what he's going to do. Like, we have free choice. The enemy doesn't have to tell us straight, but the enemy has to kind of tell us what he's going to do. So these movies and these programs that we watch are a precursor. They're kind of like a warning. So in relations to what is to come, what's happening in the U.S., God knows who these gentlemen are who are dressed up in uniform, grabbing people out of their vehicles and their homes and causing all kinds of havoc in the U.S. But believe me, this is not just, this doesn't come out of the blue. This is planned for a while. This is not new. So back to what I was saying in relations to, and I'm selflessly saying this because I was actually annoyed that finding out that my devices are being monitored, because it's not by these people. I'm small fry right now. These are people that know me, people who have selfish intentions behind why they want to play with my devices, make it seem as though I'm, it would drive anyone nuts if they didn't have the knowledge that I had. Okay, stuff like I have a class I'm taking right now, and there's an app associated with this class. And there's many ways that many hoops to jump through to get to log into this thing. And one attempt I had one day to get into this app, it was telling me that I had made too many attempts to get into it, which means someone else had some other means to try and access this app. And this app has a lot of my personal information associated with what this class I'm taking and this thing I'm trying to acquire. So that was one indication. Another indication is that I have an app called WhatsApp that I use, if you guys are familiar with it. And when you use certain emojis, this app will show you your recent emojis. Like, there's a space to show you the recent emojis that you've used. And there's emojis there that I've never used them, but they're frequently used emojis in that section, which means that someone else is either communicating with somebody that I know or people that I know using my identity and my credentials, and it's not me. Okay, so my life has been such that I'm having experiences that eventually everyone's going to experience. For whatever reason, there's a small group of us who are experiencing this torturesome life ahead of everybody else. It's made us much more vigilant, much stronger, much more resourceful. We have survival skills that are beyond a lot of people. A lot of people wouldn't be able to survive what I've survived. I promise you this. And so my training, and whatever you want to call it, training, or whatever I've gone to do, started when I was very young. So I just want to let you guys know that what you're doing, for those of you who are doing this, whether it's to me or somebody else, it's not private. Okay? The powers that be can do the same thing. They can intervene into our stuff. They do. They hear what I'm saying. They know what you're doing. When I leave this house and I go for a run, I see police officers monitoring me all the time. One time, I guess I mentioned this before. You're so sweet. Thank you. Thank you. Um, like I told you, I had said this before. There was an officer that tried to run me off the road because I had mentioned on this platform that I love to run on the road because it's easier on the knees. Now, I only said that because it's true. It is easier. It's easier on the knees to run on the road, but my run is only a 3K run. I'm not running forever. I'm not a horse. So I don't have to run on the road, but it is easier to run on the road. One, because it's even plain. There's not the sidewalks here in this area are so uneven that when it snows or rains, we have puddles everywhere. So for my safety and for the run's sake, it's better to run on the road. And even when it starts to snow or whatever else, you usually shovel the roads first. So the day when this officer had trailed me and tried to stop me with his vehicle, I realized that yes, for sure, I'm being monitored. Every time I go on a run, there's officers running, like driving around. I don't know if they're for me or not for me. The point is that this is what they're doing. Okay, and there's gonna be a point. There's a time in my life where my life seemed to be normal. And then all of a sudden it just became this whirlwind of like really unusual things. I'll tell you what, a lot of what I've gone through, a lot of people are, if not everyone's going to experience this. The way that people's children are being ripped out of their hands, it's happened to me. The way people are being removed from their home, it happened to me. The way people are being thrown into jail and stripped and God knows whatever else is happening to them in jail, it's happened to me. Okay, these things happened to me. I haven't spoken about everything. But yes, these things have happened to me. Someone setting me up to meet somebody and it being some creep. And I think I might do a specific video about this. And it all being orchestrated by people that I know. Those kind of things happen to people now, but this is not new to me. Okay, these are things, as you see me sitting here, I've had to endure a lot of ridiculously wicked things at the hands of people who sit beside me at Thanksgiving dinner, who sit across from me at Christmas dinner and profess to be family and friends to me or loved ones and mean no well to me. Just letting you know. So just what you're seeing on I might cringe when I see it happen to other people, but I can definitely, if no one else that you know can relate, I can definitely relate to what you're seeing on the news right now. There are wicked people out there, but they've been out there. They've been out there. Anyway, this is a call to those, because there are still people in positions of authority that are overseeing the people who are doing the unjust things to me right now. And I do believe they're doing their job because the Lord would not allow this to continue. So for those of you who think this is cute and think that you can get away with what you're doing, our Heavenly Father supersedes everything that we do. And if you want a biblical stance on this, I suggest that you read the book of Job. Because at the beginning of the book of Job, the enemy or our enemy, whether you serve God or not, you have an enemy that a lot of you guys are serving without knowing. This enemy does not love us. This enemy is already doomed to suffer for eternity. This enemy has tricked many people to serve him in many different ways. Whether if you're saying God doesn't exist, you're serving him. If you're practicing in a false religion, you're serving him. If you're able to do things magically and mystically that actually interferes with people's lives, hurts people, you're serving the enemy. That's straight what it is. Okay, guys, so I just want to let you know that, and this is just a warning for those of you who feels it's cute that you be able to watch what I'm doing, to be able to set things up to make it seem as though what I'm talking about, what I've texted, what I've uploaded, it just appears in my space or appears on my walk or my run. I already know this is not new for me. These things that happen in my life have been happening since I was a child. I have a very wicked family. a family who has no heart, especially and particularly those who are professing to be Christian. I have an aunt who professes to be Christian. She's so holier than thou, and she's probably the wickedest woman I've ever known for that reason. Because under the guise of Christianity, she walks through her life. She professes to be so sweet. But if someone is professing to be for God, they would be full with love. They wouldn't be orchestrating a way to steal or take from somebody or to hurt somebody. They wouldn't be doing that. Okay? And again, I'm going to say Christianity is the only religion or only practice where you can say that you are that all you want, but if your fruits don't reflect it, you are not. Every other religion, you can say that you're that, you can do the practice, put on the garb, whatever else, and people will believe you because you're saying that you're that. Christianity is not one of those things. If the person isn't walking in righteousness, they are not for God. They are not his chosen. They are not born again. That's straight what it is. It doesn't matter what they say. And everybody is professing, nowadays is professing God. Oh my gosh, I love my Lord, Jesus. Da, da, da. No, no. I have to constantly be checking myself. I'm a human being. I'm flesh. So you have to stay repentant. The Bible talks about he's looking for a bride without spot or wrinkle. So I have to constantly be checking myself, right? And just asking God, like, is this okay? There's so many things right now you could be doing, even participating in AI. Should we even be doing this? Like, it's AI is probably the biggest trick besides the apple and Adam and Eve that we've ever encountered. Witchcraft is manipulating a situation to make people think something different than what is real. Isn't that what AI is? Isn't AI a manipulation of people's perspective on what's real? You could fix a situation where someone looks like they're doing something and it's not even them. They're not even in the situation. How are we glorifying this? This cannot be good. I'm seeing little babies doing dances that are I mean, it's entertaining. It's cute. But you put a head on someone's body who's doing something like a crime or doing something that's obscene, that could jeopardize their job, their livelihood, God knows what. How are we glorifying this? Are we not seeing the issues with this? Anyway, I just want to come and let you guys know to be wise about the choices that you're making. You're not doing it in private. You're being monitored. We all are. It's not just me. And I think what the karma with this is going to be is that everyone who's involved in what's happening with me thinks that they're getting away with something, right? The karma is when you find out that none of us are getting away with anything. We are all monitored. What we do is not in private. And this goes for those particularly who are supposed to be serving and protecting, who thinking they're getting away with things. Not only is it being caught on video by people who have cell phones, they can catch every kind of injustice on the road, but what we do overall is monitored. I'll tell you one thing before I go. There's one time when I was in my wilderness time, I spent a lot of time outside because I really had no place to really be. My life was stripped from me. The Lord allowed it. And I was walking in an area that's known to be pretty low income, high crime. And there was signage there that talked about it's heavily surveillance. The area is heavily surveillance, but they would not be able to use the footage for any kind of attempt to solve a crime. Now you have to ask yourself, if they have surveillance cameras, and obviously they're recording and keeping these recordings, what are they using the recordings for if it's not to solve a crime? Right? What are they doing with it? We have to be thinking. And I have a someone who's very close to my heart who keeps telling me I think too much. I don't think we think enough. I think overall, as a populace, we don't think enough. When I was doing my initial test for this thing I'm doing, I believe I was heavily under warfare. My vision was very impaired. I'm surprised that I got the marks I got. It was such a difficult thing, and I know that I was under attack at that time. I know I was. I don't have to. No one has to tell me. But the fact that I got prepared myself and got myself to take a course, and people that I don't even know knew this, should tell you what kind of world we're living in right now. Nothing is private. They just chose to pick on a small group of people. Maybe the Lord designed it this way because he needs to prepare us for what's to come, because we have a role to play. But nothing that you do on the internet is private. Just absorb that and take it in. You need to understand this. This is not a game. This is not a joke. What you watch, the things that intriguing to you, there's no, when I see my daughter's phone and my phone, I watch what she's watching. I'm like, how come I don't see what you see? And she says, Mom, it's because what you're interested in. Somehow, some way, the algorithm, we call it the algorithm, it knows what you're about. It's designed, if I took your phone and I was like on your Instagram or your Facebook or YouTube for a while, it would seem so foreign to me. I don't have one video that comes up that's about video games, not one. Because I'm not interested in that, right? So the system has kind of figured us out. It knows what you're interested in, what you like. You know, even my age. Sometimes the ads that come up will talk about how old I am. If you're this age and you're interested in this, and I'm like, how the heck do you know how old I am? I know I don't look at my age, but I know that somehow my algorithm knows that I'm this age. We have to be wise. Listen to what they're saying. I said, like, it's almost like recently, supposedly, and I don't know if this is AR or not, but supposedly recently, the president of the United States was talking about generally going into a country and bombing them because of the cartels. He didn't say it like, we're going in. He said it like, well, I think we're going to go in and, do this because they're out of control. And I'm thinking, is this for real? And nowadays it's hard to tell what's for real and what's not because there's so much AI out there, but we have to be wise. We have to be wise. Like, like just because it's not said in haste, or it's not said in an urgent tone, doesn't mean it's something that we shouldn't be listening to and paying attention to. You know what I mean? We have to be wise. I appreciate the hearts. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna go because I should be sleeping. I have some studying to do because I do want to really ace this thing. I promised I would be taking this test in the next week. So I want to really ace this thing. I'm not even too sure how I'm going to get, how I'm going to continue to do this. I'm better at reading and studying and writing notes. I think I might do it that way. But like I said, I promised to come on. So I said I'd come on. I'm almost actually kind of ready for, I have all my blankets. I'm a blanket person. I have all my blankets here and I'm going to go. Oh, you're so sweet. Well, it's almost half an hour. I don't want to spend too much time because I have to go back. What I've been doing is going back over and watching them because I want to first of all, I'm critiquing myself, right? But also too, I want to see if the platform plays with my lives, because I'm seeing how the lives are coming out, but occasionally the lives will come out being played with, like the volume will be low, or there's some things that happen with it. So I'm always having to go back, and I don't want them to be too long where I'm spending too much time re-watching my stuff. But I'm gonna come on again, I promise you. I'm so sorry that I can't give you a time, because when I find that I give a time. Oh, that's it's been happening. I've been subscribers have been, oops, sorry. Subscribers have been unsubscribed, and notifications aren't going out. I have like almost, at one point I had almost 18,000 subscribers. And every time I came on, I don't know if it's the platform or someone who's mirroring my channel with their phone or device, will, like, people, like, I have 8 people unsubscribed. Like, it was just absolutely insane. If I have 16,000, if I have 18,000 subscribed, and they slowly started to unsubscribe people. So right now I'm at 16,000, almost 17,000 people. If that's the case and no one's getting notifications, it explains why, but the Lord's allowing it. So I don't know. I don't know what to say. I'm trying to come on more often so people can see that I'm more actively on the platform. So hopefully that helps. And I'm glad to see that you came on here and you let me know that. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to change that. But the Lord has led me to be consistent with what I'm doing. So I am doing that. And in spite of the fact that I feel like there's a spirit of like slumber in this house where I want to get something done, and it's like by the time it gets to this hour, I'm like, it's bedtime. It's time for me to go to sleep. So I'll look out for me about this hour, like about between 6 and 10. I find that 6 is a good time, but I'm finding at this time of the day, even though I should be sleeping, the house is quieter, so it's much more tranquil and peaceful for me to do it now. But between 6 and 10, when people are kind of home and chilling, is when I try to get on. But if you watch any of my videos, yes, thank you, sweetheart. Thank you for coming on, family. I appreciate you. You were a blessing. All right, guys, remember, you're made marvelous. You're a special generation of people created for this time. You're not a mistake. You are a very special generation. This time is weird. You have to be strong emotionally, physically, spiritually to be here. All right. Until next time, guys, be blessed. Love you.